The Inquisition, let's begin. The Inquisition, look out, sin. I know you're wishing that we'd go away. But the Inquisition's here and it's here to stay. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, we got everybody here now. You guys had just finished things up. You arrested Archibald Oberon and his spy master, the masterminds behind everything.
I think Tyruss wants to make a senescience or senescience test.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I want to know if there are any psychers in this room.
All right,
Other than yourself?
Yes.
You found one! Good job!
Because there's one other thing we don't know is who broke Romulus out of that cage. Who was stalking us.
Who broke me? Who broke me out of the cage?
Make that All right, you cast your senses around. Nobody else in this room appears to be a psyker.
Something just occurred to me. I look and say, is Mortimer around?
Okay. You call Mortimer into the room. Tyruss, when you sensed around for your Sinesians thing, Mortimer wasn't a psyker either, if that's what you're wondering.
I asked Mortimer, can you contact Damek for me?
Sure, he can contact him.
I mean, who else could it be? They helped us out, right?
Why the secrecy?
I don't know. Like, we don't know who it is or why they're secret, but if it's not from these guys, then, like, who else would help us? Damek is the only other person I know of who we have a good relationship with on this planet.
Zarkov, did you just say the Eldar?
Yeah.
Why would they help us?
Not necessarily help, but influence events on the planet.
So Zarkov thinks that this is an Eldar conspiracy. Well, actually, you don't know who the Eldar are, so only Martin can come to that conclusion.
Where is my shuriken pistol anyway?
It needs to be delivered. I think
Why didn't I pay extra for the overnight?
Yeah, I think it's actually showing up either today or the next day. I forget, but it will show up. They said that they would deliver it.
Next business day?
We've disrupted their operations so much that we might not really be getting our deliveries.
Damn well better.
No, you're getting it through Shade, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Shade now works for us. So we're going to get that.
I hadn't thought about that. The other thing is, like, if we really disrupt things, it's possible that they just won't deliver because, like, if they shut down the villa or House Oberon operations, they might not be able to deliver anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so who is the psyker? Who else could it be? Wait a second. I had Eldred Marin employed one of my former comrades from my home planet.
Yeah, but he's not a psyker.
No, but I don't know. I can't remember now. I have to go back and look at my backstory. I can't remember if I had a psyker friend in my old retinue.
Oh, I see. So, Ketho, is your Vox call complete yet?
Yes. Mortimer hands you a Vox caster and informs you that Damek's on the line.
I ask Damek. Damek!
Ketho! What's up?
Hey, buddy, what have you been up to recently? Don't lie.
Not much, brocephalopod. Just chilling out.
Have some XP, Eric. I can't know what you can do with this, but have some XP.
Yeah.
Have a fate point.
All right.
That's good. Hey, just a quick question. Looking to put together a kick-ass new retinue. Do you know any psychers by chance?
Well, we have a astropath that's contracted to the house, and yeah, the astropath is really the only psyker we have on staff here. And he's in his astropathic quiet room basically the whole time.
Right.
Doesn't really leave much.
Okay.
Other nobles find it fashionable to keep a psyker pet, but I don't. That seems kind of demeaning to me.
That's fair. Well, I like to demean myself every once in a while. Do you know any other nobles with psychers we could get in contact with?
I don't know. I'm not the right guy to ask about that.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. We'll hang out soon or something or other.
Yeah, totally will.
Okay, goodbye.
Hello.
That was a waste of time. Where did the Psyker come from? I'm still angrily sitting in the chair across from the dead spy master. Can we dismiss everyone else, or
Sure.
is that fine, or should we call down for Inquisition people too?
No, I think we can keep this to ourselves, at least for now.
I mean, other loose ends that exist are Felicia Tolbin wanted you to stab the dude in the House Marin dungeons who was responsible for torturing her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well...
And also there's all the heretical artifacts that were distributed out across the city, which Zarkov slipped trackers into the merchandise, and you now actually have details of where each shipment was delivered via GPS. So you can direct the authorities to go and scoop all that up.
Yeah, so I guess that's fine.
And arrest whoever bought it. The goods that you guys brought to the villa, like the shuriken catapult and the Eldar sword, and the painting and the books that Tyruss got, those are all at the villa now. Yes, get rid of all the heresy. Yep, you totally got all of it.
No, wait, we just pick and choose.
All right. Who do you order to go and arrest the people who had collected stuff? I assume that you leave your names off of the list of people who had stuff delivered to them. You have the coordinates of all the places where stuff was delivered, and you have the place where they originally brought the stuff for distribution.
I'm going to ask Natalie to get her people to do it.
All right.
They can say that she found massive corruption and stuff like that, and they're stepping in to make sure everything is kosher after they've arrested a few people, including Archibald.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, but seriously, where's the Psyker? We just have to stab somebody.
All right, so are you going to the House Marin dungeons to stab someone?
Yeah, I still have the costume of Eldrick Marin.
Okay. All right, so you go down there.
Yeah, because I guess we still need to bring out Felicia Tolbin's final request of stabbing that guy with that knife.
Yeah. And she did give you the location of a secret passage that leads into the dungeon.
Oh, yeah, let's take that.
Okay.
Do we just walk over? How close is it?
You have to take a car, but because it's in the House Marin portion of the spire, it's maybe a half-hour drive.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that I keep my Eldritch guys on, putting the mask back on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look like I've had a really bad night, I guess.
Yeah.
And can we take the manacles off of the Spy Master and
Well, he doesn't need them anymore.
He doesn't need them. But can we put them on someone else in the party?
Sure. Who wants to be manacled?
Fake manacled. A la Chewie, Star Wars.
I'll do it.
You're going to be Chewie?
Okay.
I usually don't use weapons anyway, so if you need my powers, it doesn't really matter that I'm...
You haven't actually constrained his combat abilities at all.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to the secret entrance, and then we'll look like, first, that I've had a terrible night, and two, that I've captured somebody. I also say, I hope this doesn't get me shot again.
Okay, so you get in, and you trundle through the dungeons. It looks positively medieval down here, with cobblestones and poor lighting and everything, except instead of guttering torches, they have more flickering fluorescent lights. Anytime you pass by any guards, they just give you a nod and keep going. Your disguise is very difficult to see through in such poor lighting.
Mm.
And after some searching, then you hear the zapping of electrodes connected to a car battery, essentially. And you follow that and eventually find the dude who's got some poor sap chained up to a chair, and he's wearing that same black mask that absorbs all the light that Felicia told you about. And he's zapping the dude with car battery.
I stumble in, I say, "Who's that?" Pointing my gun
He just
at
looks
the guy in the chair.
at you in this sort of garbled, distorted voice and said, "It's the prisoner that you asked me to interrogate, my lord."
Wonderful. Get out of there. I have a new one.
As you wish. And he unties the guy and kicks him out of the room. And there are two guards waiting to take the guy back to his cell.
All right,
So
I'll let the guards
walk
take
away.
him.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I had someone tell me how good they were at torturing someone at the party last night. I'm trying to sound angry.
Hmm?
They're saying that I should hire them.
Really?
So I hope
But
for your sake...
You know that my skills have no equal, my lord.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's been a rough night. They did some good work. I'm just hoping for your sake you put on a good show. Hey, Zarkov, why don't you seat our guest? And I gesture and I nod towards the guy with the mask, not Tyruss.
All right.
You push him down in the chair, and he just looks around for a moment as the manacles on the chair go chink, 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 and all slam shut. And he just like shakes and starts like trying to shake his way loose, suddenly aware that things are not going as typical.
I release Tyruss from his bonds. To make sure the door is closed.
Lord, have I displeased you? Were my services not to your liking?
Yeah, actually, I had a really negative review from somebody, so...
Real negative reviews on torturing.
So, sorry about this. I take out the knife, and I'm like, yeah, so 1 out of 5 stars, and I stab him with the knife in the chest.
I put my hand on your shoulder and I say, before you kill him, just ask him if he knows any powerful psychers that are capable of bending metal.
Yeah, hey, that's a good question. Do you know any powerful psychers that are capable of bending metal? If you answer me, I won't stab you again.
He just groans in pain.
You should talk. Can we take off his mask?
Sure.
Can you check if he's a psyker or not, Tyruss?
I can roll another test, yeah.
Actually, you can skip the roll for expediency's sake. He is a psyker, actually, but a very weak one. Not one who could have pulled off the thing that you saw happen.
Not capable of bending steel, basically.
No.
So I said, that's very interesting that he's a psyker. And I say, he is a psyker, but he's weak. He couldn't be the one that we're looking for.
I don't take off my mask just yet. I say, would you describe us as close before the stabbing?
Would you describe us as close?
Yes, the torturer and Eldrick Marin.
Well, I just live to carry out your orders, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I take off a mask. I'm not Eldrick. If you want your lord to survive, why don't you tell us a few things? Do you know any powerful psychers?
No.
Maybe? Okay. Well, why don't you tell us what you know about Eldrick's operation here? I mean, the kid Jake is kind of up, but you can help your boss.
To speed things up, he really doesn't know anything. Eldrick throws people down in the dungeons, he tortures them, and gets the information out.
The fact that he's not the one we're after is unfortunate, because I do recall Romulus saying that he felt a presence, both when he was in that cage and when he was here. So I would have thought that this dungeon would have been the lead that we were looking for, but unless it's someone else who works here, I'm not really sure.
Well, we can go around. I'm still Eldrick Marin for all intents and purposes. I put my mask back on. Who wants to kill him?
Well, Felicia Tobin told you to do it, so I think it's apt that you do.
Okay. Yeah, so I will stab him a few times.
Okay.
Shank him!
Can we make him not look like the torturer?
Sure. You can do that. So it'll take him a little while to realize what happened.
That's fine. Let's do that. And then let's continue up into the house of Eldrick Marin.
As you're on the way up, you actually get a Vox call.
I do not answer it. I'm trying to be Eldrick Marin.
Not the Untouchables, considering that he should never be answering the phone.
Tyruss will pick it up.
All right. It's Natalie Corvus. He says, hey, we've been doing the sweep of all the coordinates, and, well, there's one place you might want to check out.
I quickly jump on, hey, do you want anything from House Marin while we're here?
I think we've dealt with everything there we need to. Eldrick Marin's already up in orbit somewhere.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you want anything from this house, you wanted a painting or anything, yeah. Don't worry, okay, well, we'll go check out the coordinates. Let's go.
Okay. So you go check out the coordinates. It's one of the delivery areas. The residence of one of the nobles who ordered something from the auction. When you get there, the place is a mess. It looks like one of the windows had been smashed, and the dressers and stuff have been ransacked, like someone rummaged through all of it. And all the like jewelry and stuff from the house has been taken.
Okay, do we know the name of who lives here? Or like if they belong to any of the houses or anything? Like, do we know anything about this person, or do we literally just know that it's here?
You know, it's the person who ordered the Eldar Spirit Stones.
Of course.
That sounds like a Psyker thing.
Yeah, well, not only that, but those are, like, of course, that's just nefarious, just someone who is really interested in Eldar Spirit Stones, and not to mention that they're gone now, is kind of creepy.
The person who ordered it actually was found in their bedroom dead.
Oh, yeah, see? That's what I mean. It's just bad news bears to get up with those Spirit Stones, man.
What do they do to you?
They kill you and take them from you.
Oh.
Either Chaos or Eldar, whoever gets to you first.
Also, everyone make a scrutiny test based on intelligence or perception, whichever is the option.
Fellowship or perception?
Perception, then.
I've scrutinized nothing.
All right, Zarkov.
Davis did it.
You find the bag that the Spirit Stones were in, but inside there is a handful of rocks instead of the Spirit Stones. So, I mean, besides that, they recover all the merchandise and arrest everyone involved.
So, can we identify who it was at all? The dead person?
They're a minor noble. I don't have a name made up for them.
Okay. So, do we find anything related to our Psyker at all?
No.
This is really driving me nuts. Do we find out? Can we see who killed the person, the noble who got the?
More, how was he
let's
killed?
See. You don't know who killed them. Curiously, none of the servants heard anything happen, despite there being a window that's very clearly broken, and all the servants were around doing their regular things when it happened. Like, the window was broken, all the jewelry was stolen, the master of the house was murdered, and then just gone.
I asked the servants, did your master have anyone he worked with closely who may have been around a lot?
Work colleagues, but for the most part, he was a relatively solitary man.
How was he killed?
Make a Medicaid check, Mark.
I'll do it. I have the best Medicaid.
Really?
I'll take a look at it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually terrible. I failed, but it was terrible.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, you pass. You look closely. It looks like he's been stabbed in the stomach, and there's like a lot of blood. But upon closer inspection, it's not just a stab wound. It was like he was stabbed in the stomach, and all his innards have been liquefied and just bled out of his body.
Oh, God, what does that again? I can't remember. Don't you love that, though?
Can we roll to see if we know what something that does that?
Yeah, Martin, you have some forbidden lore about alien weapons.
Martin, you can make a forbidden lore test. With your infused knowledge, it's enough to recognize, you've actually heard tales of similar wounds inflicted on Imperial soldiers on battlefields. The monofilament weapons of the Eldar have been known to do similar damage.
Mm-hmm.
There's one particular weapon called a Harlequin's Kiss that would do this sort of thing. It's a melee weapon, essentially a sharpened tube that you punch into someone and then hit a button, and a length of monofilament wire unspools inside of them.
Yeah.
And liquefies their innards.
Basically,
you tend not to survive a hit by one of those.
Yeah, it's an innard bonder. We never saw one at the auction, did we?
No. This is the kind of weapon that is exceedingly rare even among the Eldar.
Yeah, because, well, it's for Harlequins only, basically. I had a suspicion. I just couldn't remember enough about shuriken weapons.
This was no regular burglary.
No. Like I said, the Eldar came and killed him and took them.
Well, you don't know there was Eldar specifically. I mean, there was all kinds of Eldar weapons at the auction.
Yeah, I think Eldar do take, like, human thralls that they use to do, like, their bidding between, like, world to world, just so that they can blend in. Shenanigans are afoot.
So, as you're doing this, you get a call on your Vox unit coming from Rexler Salt, the interrogator of Inquisitor Margolin, who gave you the assignment in the first place.
Panther. Interrogator.
Hello, Acolytes. How's your investigation proceeding down there?
Yeah, it's okay.
What do you mean, okay? Are there loose ends?
Yeah, there's one. There's some sort of rogue psyker who helped me out of a prison cell. No idea who it is.
Let's see. Well, my Inquisitor, Lady Margolin, has a particularly talented cell of acolytes who specialize in hunting psychers. So they could potentially take over the cleanup from here, because I know from experience that tracking a single rogue psyker down in an entire hive full of people is very difficult and very time-consuming. And I actually believe that your Inquisitor has some other assignment in mind for you as well.
Well, sweet. Yeah, guys, did we get the heresy?
Heresy gotten.
Well, if we look back to our original objectives of find the missing acolytes and find and shut down the smuggling operation, yes, in terms of finding this rogue psyker, well, he seems to be an element that came out of nowhere that we're unsure of. But main objectives complete, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
We did convey that the Psyker was only helpful and may be part of a murder and it might have nothing to do with it, right? We did say he was helpful and not like...
Yeah, but I'm like 70% sure that the Psyker that you were dealing with is probably Eldar. And they're the same people who killed that guy.
Are you, as Martin, telling us this?
I don't know, actually. I don't know how much character knowledge would play into that.
I think you would have enough character knowledge to make that logical leap.
Assumption. Yeah.
You do know a lot about Eldar, and you know that they are renowned for their psychic abilities.
Is Martin going to tell us what he knows, or is he going to keep it to himself?
No, I'll tell you.
He knows that Eldar, they make a lot of their long-term decisions based on divination psychers magic, in a way. Mm-hmm. They use psychic powers to guide the path of their craft worlds.
So it's possible they could have been helping us for their own interests.
It's pretty Eldar-y, but it's like at the same time, I don't know. It's like, do we really care that they had the spirit stones now?
Well, it could have been the trait, because we had nothing to do with those spirit stones at that point when they hit them. It could have been they wanted us to help shut down Shade.
Yeah.
They didn't want people smuggling Eldar stuff around.
The Eldar don't like people stealing their things.
It's my guess that they might have been able to figure out our objective if they were present at that point. So at least our objectives aligned to some degree, so they wanted to help us. We just don't know what we were helping them with exactly.
Obviously, this is player knowledge completely here, but Eldar are also very concealed. They like to work through other means. They never like to show their hand in something. So working through deception and working through other people doing their bidding is very common. That's John, not Zarkov.
Yes. But I think Martin might actually know enough to know that.
Yeah.
Most of what the Imperium knows about Eldar has been through, like, glimpses and secondhand accounts, and very occasionally Eldar working with Imperial forces on some joint objective, but always on a temporary basis, always disappearing afterwards, and sometimes turning on their Imperial erstwhile allies once the job's complete.
So we could advise the interrogator that there may be Eldar involved. Other than that, there were Eldar artifacts at the auction that we...
Yeah, I think we tell our interrogator, basically that. Objectives complete, however, we have...
Reason to believe there's an Eldar?
Well, why don't you say that? I don't want to drop the name Eldar in case I get burned at the stake, so why don't you say that, Martin?
Who wants to say it?
I'll say it.
Okay. Eldar. They always seem to turn up where you least expect and least desire their interference. But at least they didn't prevent us from achieving our objectives. The smuggling ring is shut down. And if what you say about this Shade fellow is true, then we'll have a great deal more information to go and shut down more smuggling.
Actually, we could go talk to Shade. Maybe he's been having other issues with his shipments and junk before we even showed up. Like, the Eldar could have been trying to get the Spirit Stones before they were even sold. I don't know. Just an idea.
Shade's with us now, or he's been transported to our ship, right?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, so probably the interrogator we could probably delegate that to him.
Ordinarily, my course of action with a fellow such as Shade would be to use the excruciator first. But in light of his situation, I'll restrain myself on this occasion and just content with asking questions. Once you are ready to return to the ship, then make your way up here in your gun cutter. I don't know if I ever gave this ship a name, so let's call it the Spear of Discord. Yeah, that's what it's always been, and that's what it'll always be. It's a frigate, sword class.
All right. Do we have any other unfinished business down here?
We have to get our goodies.
Your totally not heretical souvenirs that you bought from totally legitimate gift shops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got your heretical goodies. Tyruss had the Atlas Obscura and the painting. The painting by Delacour, it shows a man in like gleaming yellow robes with a crown, sort of sitting in a throne, and he has some woman, looks to be his wife, sort of standing behind him with her hand on his shoulder. It's entitled The Yellow King.
All right, for the moment, I'm not going to look at it directly. I'm assuming it's wrapped up, right?
Yes, it comes in a painting case. It's sort of rolled up in like a portrait case tube, and they supplied you with an ornate frame as well.
Can I take a Sharpie and write, or whatever the space equivalent of a Sharpie is, and write, warning, incredibly toxic gas, do not open?
Go for it.
Because if I said explosives or something, that still might tempt someone. But if I say deadly gas, I mean, you never know. It might open it and it might just kill you
gas
immediately.
samples, please do not open under any circumstances, or you will definitely die.
Yeah, I want that written in big text.
Go for it.
Okay, I write that on the box. Oh, and the books, actually, they belong to Martin, right? The Xenos books?
Yeah, they were Xenos, and
Okay, well, either of you can use them.
yeah. Well, I'll
So
put them in
it'll
my
give you a
computer.
bonus to Forbidden Lore Xeno texts if you consult them while making the test.
All right, so I'm just gonna put like Forbidden Xenos text.
It's Brenner's Atlas Obscura. It's a 6-volume book set. Very rare. These look like they're first edition copies as well. Most of those were burned by the Inquisition, actually, but apparently at least one set survived. Brenner was a crewman aboard an explorator fleet who made records of a lot of his travels and encounters with Xenos, and they were a little too Xeno-friendly for the liking of Imperial authorities. Zarkov got a best quality Wraithbone sword, and Martin got a shuriken pistol as well.
I was going to give the Wraithbone sword to Matt because he bought me a Masterwork quality sword.
Okay. I mean, might be nice for times when you don't want to carry around a force staff.
Except for the fact that it's very obviously a non-Imperial weapon.
Yes. While it's sheathed, then people won't be able to tell, but when you draw it, it definitely is of a non-Imperial style, with like an Eldar rune at the base of the blade. So it's a very fine sword, but it's definitely not Imperial.
Okay, I'll ask you for the stats later, so I can add that to my character sheet.
Yeah, it's just the same stat as a best craftsmanship monosword.
Okay. So Zarkov, you hand me the Eldar blade.
Yeah.
You didn't touch this yet, did you? Like this came directly out of the box, you didn't touch it?
Oh, it's still wrapped.
Okay, good. My most humble thanks, you person, you.
You won't have to take the power washer to the sword and attempt to get the taint of Untouchable off of it.
Tyruss is trying to thank him, but he can't. Like, he can't form the words.
Just starts gagging when he looks at him like,
Thank you. You try your best to thank Zarkov. All right. For returning Ophelia Oberon safely, you all get +3 influence for that. For breaking up the smuggling ring, you get an additional +3. For taking down like the members of 2 prominent houses, Archibald Oberon and Eldrick Marin, you get 1 influence for each of those people. And then for not fully prosecuting, I guess not fully hunting him down, Shade, you get -2 influence for that. Because while you technically did capture him, you didn't like burn him at the stake like he probably deserved. But he perhaps will lead you to more valuable prizes in terms of heretics captured in the future. That means a total of everyone gains 8 influence and loses 2 for a total gain of +6. Ketho, because you're noble-born and you reduce all influence losses by 1, so overall everyone gets +6 influence except Ketho gets +7. Because knowing all the right people and being born into high society means you're a lot more successful and influential.
That's how it goes, guys.
Okay, so are we actually going and getting the gun cutter and just tearing out of here?
Yeah, probably the best.
So we're not saying our goodbyes to anyone, we're just abandoning all of our friends and everything.
No, Zarkov wants to say bye to Catherine as the only other untouchable he's probably ever met before.
Okay. We can roleplay that out then. So yeah, so you go to see Katrin. Ketho, are you also coming to say bye to Damek?
Yeah, might as well. Also keep Zarkov out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny when Zarkov's the only one who's trying to make friends.
Well, I mean, now that we're kind of out in some circles, so, the less visible we are, the better, I guess.
Does the Inquisition have a business card?
That's a good question.
Yes, but it leaves bolter casings everywhere.
So yes, we'll go. I will go with Zarkov.
You all go to Ravenhold. When you get there, actually, Natalie and Damek and Katrin are all together having tea in one of the sitting rooms in the palace area. So as soon as you walk in, Damek stands up. He's like, Ketho!
Damek!
Hey! And you do a bro hug. You guys had quite the rough landing out in the canyon, I heard. But you got things cleaned up nicely.
I look to Natalie just to double check. Yeah, does he know what's going on, or?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I can't remember if you told him.
He definitely did not.
Well, she did.
Yeah, all in a day's work, I guess.
So I guess Damek is cool with this?
Yes. It's like, dude, that's so badass. You're with the Inquisition. Dude.
But you can't brag about that to anybody.
Nah, yeah. No, I gotcha. Want to keep it on the DL. I know. Meanwhile, with Zarkov and Katrin, what do you say?
I awkwardly make eye contact and then wave, and I just kind of stand there for a bit.
She does exactly the same thing. And in the entire time it takes Ketho and Damek to have that exchange, neither of you says a word.
Nope. The social interaction thing escapes them.
Yes.
I lean to Damek as I look over at Zarkov and Catherine and say, it's a subtle art, untouchable communication.
Yeah,
Does
no,
Zarkov hear this?
Are you saying it loud enough that he could hear it?
Yes, but in a friendly way. I'm just kidding.
Zarkov immediately steps closer to her and is like, oh, yes, social interaction, yes. He still doesn't say anything, but he gets closer.
She also steps closer, also not saying anything.
I already gave her my box number, so I guess Zarkov's trying to think of what to say, like how you do goodbyes.
Can I turn on some love ballads or something?
I guess Zarkov goes, so, I guess you heard, I'm in the Inquisition.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Exciting. Where are you going now?
I'll have to wait for the, what they tell me, wherever the heresy goes.
Well, make sure you go get those heretics. Yeah, you get them.
Yeah, and if you see any heresy, just give us a call.
Yep, I'll keep my eye out, but I can't promise any will be alive by the time you get here.
I'm okay with this. Just keep their faces. I show her my book.
She's very interested.
Oh God, that's
like, oh wow, this one has the most interesting grimace on its face.
God.
So you friend her on Facebook.
Don't do it that way. No, you can't.
No, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Zarkov, no. I just want a memento to remember you by.
Jesus Christ, Zarkov, get the knife down. But she is genuinely interested by your book of faces.
Awesome.
We
Not
found
sure
your
whether you
soulmate.
should be turned on or disturbed by that. That's up to you, though.
I guess at the end there, I just go, I hope we can be friends.
Yes, friends. And you
Zarkov.
reach out and do like a sort of like a handshake thing like this.
Awesome. I repeat the gesture, not wanting to be awkward.
Yeah. Hand shooked.
Awesome.
And Natalie also stands up and says, well, thank you very much for all the help in tracking down Ophelia.
Thank you for your help. You were impressive.
Well, I did what I could to help.
Not anyone could help me persuade a bunch of traitors that we were in the faction.
That was some quick thinking, yes.
Don't count yourself short. You did a good job.
Well, I'll be continuing my role as a throne agent here, keeping vigilant for any potential resurgence of these smuggling rings. So you know where to find us if you want to reconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody get another point of influence for getting friends in the influential noble house. Also, Ophelia also counts because she's now the current acting head of the Oberon family.
So 1 point total or 2?
1 point total for everybody.
Woohoo! We have contacts in high places.
Tyruss just says, best of luck in your future endeavors. Sorry if we made a little bit of a political mess for you to clean up, but that's not really our job.
All in a day's work in the
Wait.
noble.
Tyruss, when did you get here?
Yeah, Tyruss, you came with us? You're in a room with 2 untouchables? How do you feel?
He's got a really, really bad headache right now, but seeing how at least one of these untouchables he won't have to be around anymore, he decides that to be polite, and since we're all leaving, he should accompany the party to say our farewells.
I guess because Zarkov's not completely aware of social indications or people's own discomfort. And the recent friendship and gift-giving between Tyruss and Zarkov, he goes over and introduces Natalie more formally to him.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Not Natalie, Katrin, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You bring
The
Catherine.
other untouchable. Just like, oh, hey, this is my friend.
Ophelia and Matthias both meet you as you're gathering your things up from the villa that they sort of provided. And Matthias is very grateful that you were all able to track down his sister. He, oddly enough, doesn't seem too upset about his dad being dragged off by the Inquisition.
Yeah, I can't say we're sorry about that, but
Can I do a thought reading on him quick?
Sure, go for it. Alright, he cannot actually get that many degrees of success, so you just know he didn't like his dad much.
Okay, just checking, because I was a little bit suspicious.
Now my plans to gain control of the planet are complete. Xeno artifacts will float freely throughout all levels of the hive. No, he just didn't like his dad.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, with that, then I'd say you guys are ready to head off the planet.
So yeah, I step into the gun cutter, and I'm suddenly reminded, oh yeah, all the upholstery and interior work of our gun cutter is ruined because of that stupid lieutenant and her stupid space elf gun.
Covered in blood and threaded by shuriken.
I say, Zarkov, clean this up.
Zarkov's kind of repair might be more of a demolition. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
See, the chairs aren't destroyed.
There's no more.
The chairs aren't torn up. We just don't have chairs anymore.
It's a new feng shui, you know?
All right, well, maybe the Inquisition will reimburse us for the repairs. I guess we'll find out.
You can get it reupholstered without too much difficulty.
All right, well, Tyruss goes up, and I don't think he's going to fly it, but I think he's going to ride shotgun at least, so he gets in the co-piloting seat.
Well, I get in the driver's seat.
I'll take a seat in the back and put my feet up.
And so yeah, you guys all climb aboard the thing. As you depart, Mortimer is on the launch pad, waving you goodbye as he was on the launch pad to greet you when you arrived. You all take off in the gun cutter, and as you leave the hangar, you see for the first time since you made planetfall, the clouds have actually parted, and the sun is shining through and glittering off all the spires of the whole hive area. And you fly up into the sunlight and off of planet Acheron. So at this point, we find ourselves back in the interrogation cell with Rexler, Salt, and Tyruss. Rexler finishes looking through the stuff on the data slate and drops it on the table in exasperation and just looks at you directly and says, "So you still have no idea where these extra Eldar weapons could have gone? What is it, a shuriken catapult, a sword, a pistol as well, and a very dangerous painting and set of books? All of these just vanished? You weren't able to track them down?"
No. The particular artifacts you're referring to are a fraction of all of the confiscated goods. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And as I said, Interrogator, we have good reason to believe that the Eldar were conspiring on this planet the whole time. I mean, the answer is right there, Interrogator. The Eldar took the items. It's plain as day, Interrogator.
That I suppose is possible. Well, I suppose we might as well declare the matter closed. I suppose the follow-up investigation will have to look into this in more detail, see what they can find. He drums his fingers on the table just a little bit, clenches his teeth. He says, "Well, so you know, I still don't agree with your decision to keep Shade alive. I know he has a lot of information that could be valuable to the Inquisition, but I don't like letting a heretic live.
Of course, no one does.
He caused the death of several of my acolytes."
Well, tell me, what do you plan to do with him?
Well, I've been in contact with your Inquisitor, Saul Tiberius, via Astropath, and he says to not use the Excruciator kit yet, and just keep my inquiries verbal. We should get as much information from this man as we can and track down all his fellow faceless traitors. I imagine he will have a great deal of information that'll be useful to us. With that, he gathers up his data slate, stands, wheels on his heel, and he opens the door and sort of looks back in and just regards you silently for a few seconds, and then walks out and closes the door.
Tyruss begins to grin.
Yes. I like that ending. Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us online at itsprobablyheresy.wordpress.com. And if you see anything heretical, you can contact the Acolytes at itsprobablyheresy@gmail.com. You go get those heretics. Yeah, you get them.
Yeah, and if you see any heresy, just give us a call.